Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So how can we, hmm. So one, turning off the electronics and getting out into nature is going to be a huge first step to regaining our liberation. Because what I'm seeing is that we're actually being enslaved by these energies and these entities. Are we being enslaved by these egregores? So we have the emperor here. So it says maybe. And I do believe that is a maybe because, hold on, let me check. Is this a maybe because it depends on your vibrational level? Does it depend? Yes, it depends on your vibrational level. And I do believe that because even though, like I said, I do get pulled into certain, like, oh my God, I'm listening to this song and all these things, but I also am not a stan of anybody. I'm not a stan of anyone. And like maybe when I was a teenager, but when I got into my 20s and things like that, I was just like, I am not a stand to any politician. I am not a stand for any ideology. And I think that has to do with a lot of the spiritual cleansing and also just things I came in with the planet, into the planet with. And so I think it, again, it depends on, I'm also hearing it depends on your family of origin. It depends on how well you know yourself. It depends on how much you love yourself. The key here is to love ourselves. They're saying the key here is to love yourself more than you love these entities, because these entities will make you feel like you're a part of something. And at the human core wants to connect. The human at its core wants to belong. It wants to belong. This is how gangs are formed. And even gangs are an egregore in themselves, and political parties, as you've said before. And even the church, which sometimes acts as a gang, or different religious organizations that act like a gang. And even when you think about certain fandoms, they also act as a gang, right? One mind, one mind. That's what the hive mind is about. One mind, one focus. But the question is for the stands, the question is for the fandoms, where is it taking you? Once your money has been given, once your attention has been given, once you've bought all the merch, how has that really enriched your lives? And what they're asking us to do is to stand back and to really look at the piles and 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 piles of money, power, and respect that we've given to these entities and these energies, thinking we're giving it to a person, but we're not. We're actually giving it to an entity. And behind that entity is a machine. And so we have to be very, very careful of what we're giving our time, talent, attention, and money to. Yeah. So, so I don't know who want to go and do the ayahuasca. Listen, I am not a doctor. I don't prescribe things, but this is what came up. Okay. Mama ayahuasca. Because what is needed is a complete rebirth, a complete rebirth, a complete rebirth, a complete shedding of the old and a welcoming in for the new. And this can actually only be done through a DNA restructure. And ayahuasca can help you to redo your structure. And the planets that are a part of this plant are Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune. So this makes sense. So I'm going to talk about each planet one by one. So Pluto has the power to transform you. Pluto has the power to, and we're under Pluto's influence now as we see the veil being ripped from our eyes, the rug being ripped out from underneath us in so many ways, so many things that, and this is actually a very dangerous time for the egregores, actually. They're working overtime because they know that their time is coming to an end. And so the moment that we can restructure our DNA and expand our consciousness, and that is Jupiter's effect of expanding our consciousness, expanding our spirituality, true spirituality, not the spirituality that's been fed to us by Hollywood, which is its own thought form. And then the power of Neptune. Neptune has to do with idealism. Neptune has to do with illusion, delusion, and lies. And so now is the time to rebirth ourselves from all of the lies. And I can't take my eye off of this five. I'm sorry, it's not a five at all. This seven of wands in reverse, which has to do with admitting defeat and all of these things and surrendering. And then we have the world in reverse as well, which is about disappointment and things like that. And so it's like first understanding that there is a problem, right? And admitting that and surrendering to the fact that these things are real and that we are indeed living in the upside down. For those of you that watch Stranger Things, which of course I will not be watching anymore, but um so yeah, understanding that. And then once we do that, once we clear the clutter, look what we have. The Ace of Pentacles, the universe giving us gifts, the universe enriching our lives, the universe, yes, it's like take that money back, take that attention back and put that money to your own ideas, your own content, your own plays, your own theaters. You can build your own theaters. You can make your own Broadway. You can make your own Hollywood right there in your own community. You don't have to look to these other places, Hollywood in particular, to get this information and to keep telling these stories and these lies that are taking your money away and blah, 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 blah. That's it. That's the verse. Peace.